All right, welcome back to Cajun Twist. Today we're going to do something that we have a little time for. We're going to do a red beans and rice with sausage and all that good stuff. So we're going to do this. First thing we need, we got our pot right here. Here's our ingredients. We have bacon, ends and pieces. We have our sausage. Good smoked sausage is what you're going to need. We have mushrooms. You don't have to put that. We just like it. We got some chopped up bell pepper, chopped up onions, and some dehydrated cayenne pepper that we're gonna put in. So the first thing we're gonna do is take this bacon and put it in this pot that's been heating. Thank you, buddy. I'm just gonna dump that bag right in there. All right, put that there for now. So now, we're gonna take our spoon and stir it up a little bit. And guess what else we're gonna do? We're gonna put some of that in there. So next, we're gonna throw down in our sausage, okay? So, just gonna take this and scoop it all in there with our hands and get that started. And once we get a little bit of grease coming out of this bacon and sausage, we're gonna start throwing our vegetables in. There we go. And we're gonna stir it so it don't stick. Now once we finish this, getting this bacon unwrapped and moving around, we're gonna cover our pot for just a couple minutes and let it start developing those flavors and juices in there so we can add our vegetables. So I'm gonna cover this pot up and we're gonna be right back. All right, we're back. So we just got a couple minutes in. We're gonna open up this pot here and we'll see how you're starting to get some of the grease coming out of that bacon and sausage at the bottom. Let me pull that out. You see how that's gonna start developing. And the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start adding our vegetables. You wanna help? Okay. Grab some of these. Don't touch the pot, it's hot, okay? So just get over it and drop them. There you go. Okay. Now, I'm gonna put the rest of it in, okay? I'm gonna just dump it like this. Save these cayenne peppers for just another second so I can crumble them down a little bit more. We're going to take that, put it in my hand. And these dried up ones right here, we just take it up, crush them in. Mix them up. All right. Well, that's all in there now. We're going to give it all a good mix. All right. Now, we're going to cover that back up and give it about another 5-10 minutes or so to fry down and make a little bit more grease. And let them onions and all them vegetables cook down, and we're going to come back when it's time. All right, we're back. It's been about 10 minutes or so. We can go ahead and look inside the pot here and see we got plenty of liquid in there now, starting to fry down some things, cook it all down. So it's that point. We're gonna add ourselves some minced garlic. If you have garlic powder, you can go ahead and use that. But we have this, so we're gonna go ahead and pour us a little glob of that in there too. Right there. That's all we need. Then we're going to take a little bit of salt, and we may add some more salt later, but you can always add more, you can never take away. So we just put about a couple teaspoons full just to get started. And now we're going to put some black pepper in there. Turn it upside down until I say stop. Shake it. All over. Okay, that's good for now. Now, I'm gonna help you with this one, okay? I want you to grab the back of it and we're gonna shake that all over too. A little bit of our Nunu's Cajun seasoning, gonna give it a nice little spiciness to it, a little bit of extra flavor. And we're gonna put just that for now, because we're gonna add some more once we put our beans in, but this is just to season up the mushrooms and the onions and all the veggies that are in there. So now, we give it a good stir. Anytime you add ingredients, you always want to mix it up so everything gets a little bit of it. Starting to smell good in here. I know y'all can't smell that at home, but once you start making this, you ain't gonna want to stop. All right, it's all good and mixed there. Everything's starting to soften up. And next, we're gonna add our beans in. We've been having those soaking in water. But you can use canned beans, or if you use dry beans, just soak them overnight in a bowl of water and it helps them cook better. So now, go ahead and dump this in there, boy.
Dump the whole thing?
Yeah, turn it upside down in there. And shake it a little bit. Get them all out of there. All right, got us another bag, so we're gonna do it again. Now something else to help you, if you soak these and do dry beans, add a little bit of salt to your water, almost like a brine, and it helps those beans soak up a little bit more seasoning in there. We're gonna fill this pot all the way up. And now, we're gonna add our chicken stock in there. I want you to do that too, bud. Take this and pour it all in there until you run out. Just don't touch that pot, it's hot. There we go. Almost there. There we go. Now, go ahead and get in, buddy. I'm gonna go ahead and stir it, okay? Now we just start mixing, and we're gonna let this come up to a boil. And we're gonna probably put a little extra water in there to put some more liquid in, because those beans, even though I soaked them, are still gonna soak up a lot of these juices. And basically, all we gotta do now is boil these beans till they start making a gravy and thickening up. Some of them will stay whole and some of them will disintegrate almost like a paste. And that, when it gets nice and thick, we're gonna season it up and finish it. And it's gonna be time to eat. So, for now, we still got a lot more time to go. But we're gonna put all that up, and I'm gonna add a little bit more water to this. And we're gonna leave it on high and let it boil out. And once it gets to enough to where it's getting low in water, we're gonna fill it back up and do the same thing again. The hardest part of the recipe has already been done now. It's just gonna be a little time consuming from now on is all. I'm gonna add this little bit of water in right here. There we go. Enough. Now, we're going to take our pot We're gonna cover it, but we're gonna leave just a little bit of a lip right there for airflow. And after probably a good 30 minutes to 45 minutes, we're gonna sit and have to probably refill this because the water's gonna boil down some. So we're gonna let it do its thing, and when it's time to add more water, we'll show you what it's supposed to look like. All right, we're back. It's been about 30 minutes, a little more. We can take a look in here and you can see that the water's going down quite a bit in there. The stock and the water together. So we're gonna add some more. Let's fill her back up, because you can see when I stir this, it's not quite thick enough and it's not the color it needs to be. But the beans are starting to soften up, and it won't be long before that stuff's gonna start thickening and it's gonna start turning the correct color. But for now, I'm gonna scrape these sides just like when you scrape a regular old gravy. Just make sure nothing's sticking. There we go. All right, now everything's stirred up, more water put back in, and we're really gonna boil this for another 30-45 minutes. But the only thing is, we're gonna turn that fire down just a little bit. That way, as that stuff starts thickening up at the bottom, it's not just gonna sit and stick to that pot and burn at the bottom of our pot. And the thicker it gets, the lower we're gonna put that burner. So for now, almost at high, but just a little lower than high. And we're gonna do the same thing, and we're gonna cover this up and leave just a little lip. And we're gonna come back when it's time to either start smashing beans or add more water. We'll see what we gotta do when we get back. All right, it's been about another 20-25 minutes or so. Let's go ahead and look down in there. Now we're starting to see the right kind of color in there. You see that gravy's starting to thicken up around. We still got a little ways to go, but we're gonna stir it up, and the more we stir, we're gonna smash a little bit like that. Scrape the bottom, keep moving it around. You wanna do this now probably about every 10 minutes or so, and we're gonna go ahead and turn our burner down to about halfway down. Just about right there. Just enough to keep that boiling, but we want it to simmer slow now. It's gonna start thickening up all that stuff. There we go. Now that we're stirred down, we're gonna leave it open again. Oh wait, I almost forgot. Just for extra flavor, we got some butter, and the butter dish kind of melted on us because it's been by the stove. We're just gonna pour that right there directly in, and we'll give that a good stir and mix it in, and we're gonna cover that pot just a little bit. And I'd say we're probably about another 30 to 40 minutes away from being completely done with this. In a minute, we're gonna cook our rice, which I'm assuming most of you know how to do. But if you don't, go look at my gumbo video, and it tells you in detail how to use the rice cooker and how much water to use and what we do for that. So, we're gonna leave that open a little wider than we did the last couple times, because we wanna try to thicken that up and let some of that moisture get out of there. And we're gonna come back and hopefully we'll have a finished product to show you. All right, welcome back. So we're gonna take it and check it here, and you can see that it's getting pretty thick now. So that's a little too thick, but we let it get that far because I wanted those beans to get real mushy like that. But you can see we still got some whole beans in there, so we got the best of both worlds. So we're gonna take just that last little bit of water that I had right here and add a little bit at a time and stir it in, just to make sure we don't put too much, because this stuff will absorb a lot of it, but if you put it all at once, just like our salt, you can't really take it away if you add too much into it. So I'm just gonna gently stir it around and get it good and mixed. And then I sampled it just a while ago. It's got plenty of salt, but we're just gonna add a little bit more of our New News Cajun seasoning in there. And that ought to be about done. As soon as we got some cooked rice, we're gonna have supper. Now we're gonna take it and shake just about that much. And this is all according to your taste. You use whatever seasoning you like as far as your Cajun seasoning or Seasonal or whatever you got at your house. Gonna get that good mixed in, and then we're gonna sample it one more time, and I think we're gonna add just a little bit more water. Gently stir it in, that way we don't splosh it all around and end up with a mess. Now it's looking like it's supposed to look. Let's see. Okay. And we're gonna add the rest of our little bit of water here, and that'll be good. Well, maybe not the rest. Got a little more than I thought I did in there. There we go. And we're just gonna let that simmer while our rice is cooking. And when it's time to serve, we're gonna come on back and put it on a plate and show you guys what it looks like in the end. All right, see y'all later. All right, we're back with the last of it. This is our finished little product right here. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna take some of this rice right here. Get us a little more. Right there. And we're gonna put that there. And what we're gonna do, give this one final little mix up. And take us a spoonful of that. Drop it right on there. All right. And here we have us some garlic chives. Now, if you got green onions or regular old chives, that's what you want. This is just what we had growing in the garden. So we're gonna take that and sprinkle a little bit around the plate. And that's it. It's time to get that going down. All right. Y'all have a good one and hope y'all enjoy it.